What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? Welcome back to Boxem Office Hours. Good to see everybody. I'm live this time every Thursday, as a reminder, as well as Tuesday and then Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. So come pop on the streams if you're watching on the replay. Come ask questions, all that good stuff. And for those of you guys that just want like a good kind of beginner guide to get started on Amazon, I made you a 5-hour long free course here on YouTube at the beginning of the year. So just look up Fields of Profit free course. And that'll be a great starting guide for you. It's super good to see a bunch of guys on the free class last night. We were on the workshop for a little over 2 hours, breaking down a ton of information, just kind of jamming with you guys. So it's super fun to see you guys. If you registered for that, we text out the recording, by the way. So should have already got a text there if you were registered for the workshop. And yeah, let me know what questions you guys have as everybody's popping on in here. Let me know who's popping in. Let me know where you're at in your Amazon business. Give me a progress update. Love seeing how things are going for you guys. What's up, Juna? How's it going? Junaid, how's it going? What's up, Lucy? How's it going? I was literally just out at Walmart doing some sourcing with the new Walmart selling app as well. So that's pretty cool. I filled up a cart with stuff using the WAMP app, WAMP, kind of how the new sourcing tool for Walmart, and it's free right now as well. That was pretty fun. Lots of stuff on like clearance and stuff, at least at my store. So could be a good opportunity whether you're selling Amazon or selling on Walmart. It's just pretty good for me. I just got back from the store sourcing some stuff. What's up, Dryer? You said, what do you do when you lose? I'm not sure what would FOE. I'm not sure what FOE would stand for. Oh, featured offer eligible. That's I've never heard anybody say it like that. Yeah, that's so you lost the buy box and nothing changed. So I mean, you might have been like maybe your account went back to like a standard account. Might have had like an account health issue of some kind. Like I would dig further in on that. Reach out to Amazon probably. You know how to create an Amazon account. I mean, that's the easy part. Making the Amazon account's the easy part. Just go to sell.amazon.com. Yeah, that should take you all of 2 seconds, and it takes like I think depending on the verification process, it can take like a week or two, sometimes a little longer. So like get that in the process now so you can actually get some stuff going. Where do you start sourcing products and what app do you use to research? So easiest place to start is auto ungated products, right? So things that any new seller can sell right away. And that those products are going to vary depending on what your account is. So somebody else might be auto approved in things that you're not, and vice versa. So, kind of step one of selling on Amazon now is to go into Boxem and then go to bulk ungate, and then you know what you can sell, right? Boxem will ungate you in 50 to 100 brands automatically. You can do it for free on a trial, and then take all those brand names that you just got approved to sell for free, and then start storefront stocking those brands. Is like the technical term. Um, yeah. Let's see. Boxem showed you your ungated. Seller app said no. So Boxem is directly tied to the Amazon, like your Amazon account. So Boxem is going to be correct in that case. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, like the banner says, I that's my sales, my friend. Yeah, we shoot for like 10% net margin after I pay my team to do all the sourcing, all the shipping, all the order management, all the account management. Pretty much just feeding the team some credit card budget, making sure everything's running smooth, that kind of thing. Run it more like an actual business than like a side hustle at this point for me. What's up, Dave? You said, would you advise starting with an LLC if you're under 18? Work under a friend's LLC, or just wait till you're 18? No, don't wait. There's I don't know if he's in stream today, but Dennis is on stream a lot, and he's like 14 or 15. He's already crushing it on Amazon. He's doing like he's making a good amount of money on Amazon. So don't wait until you're 18. Like your parents can help you sign up. Just make sure you're putting money into it that like you can afford to throw at it. Which if you're under 18, you can afford to throw all of your money at it. Like, I mean, you're like a high school kid. You can always make it back at this point. It's different. Like being young is like a nice. You can afford to make riskier plays than people with families and stuff. So I would get after it, man. I would just do it with your parents' help. I wouldn't go through like a friend or anything. Let's see. You're making 12K a month flying. That's sick. That's sick. That's awesome. Keep doing that. Like I'm never gonna be the type of online entrepreneur type person that's like quit your job and all that nonsense, right? Like quit your job when it makes sense, sure. But in terms of like you saying you have some capital and you want to do it on top of the job, That's you're gonna end up doing the same thing as everyone else, but it'll be a little bit easier for you because you already got some startup capital, right? Like tactically, what you want to do is box some auto ungated storefront stalking. That's like a lot of jargon if you're like brand new. So if you want to see that explained, just go to the Boxem YouTube channel. And we've posted a couple videos that are like an hour plus long. Like literally just hopping on calls with real Amazon sellers, sourcing products with them, that kind of thing. And then we put the recording on YouTube. So if any of you guys have not checked that out, make sure you guys go watch the videos we've been posting on the Boxem YouTube channel. Those are super, super valuable. Let's see. Yeah, we got that one there. Let's see. What's up, Zaire? How's it going? Good info on YouTube. Appreciate you, man. What's up, David? Good to see you, David. I haven't seen you on the calls and stuff recently. Hope you're doing okay, man. It's been a few weeks. I'm like, yeah, nothing too crazy. Let's see. Ben, watched since you started creating with arbitrage, is wholesale model the way now? So wholesale is good too, right? There's no like perfect way to make money on Amazon or make money online, right? Wholesale is not how I like to make money on Amazon, just because it's like I like the process of finding systems and ways to buy a whole bunch of inventory from websites and build out a team that can do it on autopilot, that kind of thing. Other people would much rather call up wholesalers all the time and work out good deals and that kind of thing. It's just not the type of business I like running. But if that is the type of business you like running, then go for it. Yeah. Let's see. How do you do it A to Z? I mean, like we're just on like a live stream, so like I've done plenty of like A to Z videos. If you just look up Fields of Profit free course, there's a 5 hour long YouTube video that breaks down everything for you. It's on YouTube obviously too, so it's free. Um, but yeah, let me know if you have like specific questions in chat and stuff from YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're at. But if you just want to see like how does this whole process work A to Z, like there's tons of free resources in the description, whatever platform you're watching on. See, you got a lock for drop shipping policy. You don't have any invoices as proof. So I mean, if you weren't drop shipping, then you'll be able to appeal that pretty easily. But yeah, retail drop shipping on Amazon is not allowed. So like reevaluate what you were doing a little bit there, and maybe see if you can win an appeal. Um, what's the 5 hour YouTube video? Yeah, just profit free course. If you search that on YouTube, you'll see kind of the whole game plan from 0 to 10K a month, basically, kind of in that obviously very detailed video since it's 5 hours long. Kind of everything is broken down for you. Let's see, is this Amazon only? So I sell on Amazon, I sell on Walmart, I sell a little bit on Temu recently as well. Like I'll sell on any platform that there's people that wanna buy from me, right? There's no reason to stick to only one platform. There's also no reason to stick to only one, like Amazon business model or whatever, right? Like whatever kind of what we're talking about. Just like pick something you like doing, you can stick with it. I don't care what it is. I'm happy to help you teach how to do online arbitrage, but just take advantage of online money. It's too fun. Let's see. Do you online arbitrage? Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for those of you guys that are like brand new, that just means buying from Walgreens.com and selling it on Amazon, right? Or buying from Amazon and selling it on Walmart. We're just doing arbitrage, buying from one website, selling it on another website. For me, it's mostly selling it on Amazon. Let's see. Is there a good rule of thumb on weight/prices for FBM versus selling FBA? Yeah. So items that are under $15 are typically very hard to make profit via FBM. Um, items over 15 can be like a little bit more reasonable. That'd be like the main rule of thumb. In terms of other things, just like if you want to FBM a product so ship it direct to the customer, just make sure you see other people on the listing already doing that. Because sometimes it can be hard to get buy box rotation, aka just like winning sales. Let's see. There's a free course you can take. Yeah, free course in my description on my YouTube channel. Let's see. It's a new sourcing tool. So as far as sourcing goes, the proven best tools are just Seller Amp for sourcing. You can use Keepa and then Boxem for everything else. So auto ungating, making shipments, AI sourcing, like all that good stuff. Analytics, feedback, pretty much everything that's not specifically sourcing. And if it is sourcing, then just use Seller Amp. Let's see. Why do you keep overthinking your first FBA shipment? Because the first time you do anything, it feels scary, right? Especially the first time you're spending $500 on shampoo or whatever. The first time like you're saying, you're overthinking the first shipment off to Amazon, right? Like it's easy. You spend a lot of time like sourcing those products. You've already got some stuff sitting at the house, but yeah, you just gotta get after it. The first time you do anything related to making money online, like it makes it way less mystical. Um, you'll realize it's not as, like, insane or unattainable as it might seem at first glance when you first start looking into, making some money on your own. Let's see, you have a company already, you wanna sell your product, it's a gallon of liquid. Is that a problem? Not necessarily. If it's a heavy product, it just needs to be able to justify a really high selling price. So, like, for example, like, I don't know, like a car, like your windshield fluid. We're trying to think of like a liquid that's relatively cheap, right? Like, that'd be pretty hard to make profit on, just 'cause, like, so much of the money's gonna go to shipping. But obviously there are liquids that are a lot more expensive, and those can be more viable. Like, for example, I know a lot of people, like, sell motor oil and stuff like that on Amazon, like, yeah, it just has to make sense, basically. And you can just plug everything in on, like, SellerAmp, you'll figure out, like, how much profit you're gonna make. Let's see, since an LLC isn't needed to start selling on Amazon, do you advise starting with an LLC or doing that later? That depends on, like, your personal setup. I'm not a lawyer, not a tax expert, that kinda thing. That said, I did not use an LLC when I first started, but I was, like, a broke college kid. So I had, like, literally, like, 1,000-ish dollars to my name, so it wasn't really worth doing anything, but if you have, like, a house or family, that kinda thing, most people tell you to get an LLC first. Let's see, how close to a holiday do you think is too close to buy holiday-related items? Good question, man. So holiday items, that's actually super relevant right now, like, we're coming into Easter in a few weeks, right? I think it's like the right beginning of April this year, I think. So if you want FBA seasonal products, you need to start sourcing them, like, 2 months before the season, sometimes, like, 3 months if you wanna be, like, super safe. If you're just going to FBM those products, which is what I would recommend for, new sellers looking into seasonal items, then you can start sourcing those seasonal products, like, a month before the holiday, I would say. 6 weeks if you wanna be, like, super far ahead, or, you can literally go out to the stores to source holiday items, like, the week of the holiday, 'cause some items might be, like, really popping up in price, right? Let's say, like, a particular Easter candy 2-pack just starts going crazy pricing-wise. You wouldn't realize that until it's during the peak season. So that's why you can go out to those stores and look for things to sell. Like, sometimes you'll even be able to, like, look for something in a store, buy it online, you list it, and, like, before you even check out, it's, like, already sold on Amazon. Those are the really fun ones. Do industrial items sell well on eBay? So eBay for me is just, like, where I sell returns, but, I assume, like, yeah, anything sells on Amazon, eBay, that kind of thing. They'll sell all kinds of stuff. When you find an item in the clearance aisle that has a good profit, how do you know that you're ungated? So you can just check on the seller app or on SellerAmp, yeah. You'll also just get a general feel for, like, which products you are, like, which brands out in the store you're able to see. Sorry, you meant Amazon? Yeah, then for sure, you can sell industrial on Amazon. Sometimes those are, like, pretty good products, to be honest. Like, I've sold a lot of, like, plumbing parts and, like, random stuff like that, right? 'Cause no one really gets on Amazon and like, "Man, I can't wait to sell plumbing parts," right? They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to sell, name brand toys and shoes," and that kinda thing, right? Like, but that's what people, like, get excited about. So sometimes there's a little less, like, competition in those, like, boring products. I've also found a lot of that in, like, gardening and things like that, where obviously lots of people are buying it, but it's not quite as, like, attractive to, like, go straight into selling. Can you explain what auto ungated means? Yeah, so those are just products that you can sell on Amazon right away, like, no invoices needed, versus gated products, which we've seen before if you tried to sell, being products where Amazon wants us to submit an invoice to get approved to sell the brand. So if you wanna find a bunch of those auto ungated products, you used to have to, like, plug in brand by brand over and over and over and over again. It would take, like, forever. But now you can just go into Boxem, it's a software, click bulk ungate, and then that will scan your store, and usually it'll ungate, like, 50 to 100 brands for you, with the default list, and you can add as many other, uh, products and stuff, and it'll try to ungate those for you for free as well. Um, let's see. Counts deactivated, worked to get it back. I mean, I'd need a lot more information on that, Nathan. As far as, like, if you ever have, like, serious account health complaints, which sounds like you did, I'll usually use some help from Seller Basics is the company that, can, help me out. You can also Nathan, shoot me a Discord message too if you, get me on Discord. Happy to, check into that. Let's see. Is it the same 50 to 100 brands for everybody? So no, because it's gonna be like, that's why you need to run that scan on Boxem, because your auto ungates are gonna depend on your account specifically. A lot of times people ungate the same types of brands automatically as beginners for sure, but as you sell more things, you can auto ungate more things. So you want to just, like, run that scan, once a week or so and see what new brands previously were not auto-ungated that now are. Um, yeah. So that you can do bulk automated ungating on Boxem. So if you guys are, like, brand new, you should do that. And if you're, like, making any sales or making any shipments, you can also do that, a lot easier on Boxem as well. It's kind of like the software you'll use for all that stuff. See, is hazmat a difficult process to get approved for? Not right now. Like, our when I applied for hazmat, I had to wait, like, a year on the wait list. I think they used to be a lot more, they used to be a lot more, like, uptight about the hazmat program or something. I've seen it be like a couple weeks, and sometimes even a couple days recently, for sure. I do not know, Zaire, you can Google that, man. Um, knowing the price of an LLC in a state that I have never lived in would be an interesting fun fact. Sure. When there's an ungate for 400 items, is it 400 of the same ASIN or the same brand? So it's just the same brand, for units, yeah. And to be honest, I've also used 10-unit invoices on those and had success, and obviously a lot cheaper than buying 40 times as much inventory if you wanna save yourself some money. Can you repeat the name of that again? Yeah, it's in terms of the software for bulk ungating, I assume that's Boxem, Boxem. You can get it for free for 2 weeks, so you can start, like, making your first shipments and tracking profit and getting bulk ungated. Let's see. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. What's up, Dennis? How's it going? Best way to get capital not counting 0% APR cards? Yeah, you don't wanna go too crazy on, like, credit card debt and that kinda thing. Um, easy to, uh, easy trap to fall into. In terms of capital, the if you don't wanna leverage debt, the best thing you can do is just be smarter with your existing cash flow, right? So that means FBMing more things for speed of money. That means buying things that sell a little bit faster, even if it's at the sacrifice of a little bit of, like, ROI, right? So if you're just, like, super limited on capital, just make sure you're just putting out quality spend, and then really making sure your pricing is dialed, because it's really easy to send a product in that, might not sell for 3 weeks, but if you had lowered the price by 50 cents, it would have sold, right? And that's where, you can either do that manually or use, like Flash Pricer. It's the repricer I like, and that'll, like, automatically change prices. Let's see, why do you resell things from Ross if you sell million? I mean, resell anything from anywhere, right? Like, why be picky? There's no, yeah, there's a lot of people that are, like, too good to make money where it's just slap them in the face, right? Who cares if it's, like, not as, uh, not as fun or sexy as other things you see, right? Like, if it's a good product opportunity and I trust the source, I'm gonna buy some stuff there. No reason to be too cool for school to do something to make some money. Let's see. Your new seller, as you continue to make sales and build trust with Amazon, will ungate become easier. Yeah, so you'll get auto-ungated more things. So that'll be, like, how ungating gets easier. So, like, as a new seller, you typically only get auto-ungated in, a lot of, like, interesting, like, vinyl, CDs, books, stuff like that. And then you'll also get auto-ungated in a lot of, like, clothing brands, maybe a couple beauty and grocery brands. And then that'll expand more and more as you sell more products. What category do you sell? Anything that's profitable, to be honest. It kinda depends on the season. So, like, during Q4, it's a lot of, like, giftable products is how I phrase it, and, yeah, lots of other stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. Sweet. How do you sell medicine and supplements? I mean, you just as long as there's a listing on Amazon that is selling well, you just list on the existing listing. I'm not sure what you mean. If you're worried about, like, ungating, it's the same as everything else, right? So you just submit the documents for what you were buying. Let's see. Your account was ungated in Nintendo's trying to get it back. Yeah, that makes sense, Nathan. Yeah, and then the site, if you're having account health issues, I like Seller Basics, um, for sure. Let's see, what's up, Mike? How's it going? Do you always match the lowest price on every product? No, in fact, you should, like, you wanna be not the lowest price as often as possible, because most of the time, you don't even need to be the cheapest person on the listing to make, at least an equal share of the sale, sometimes more. And that's gonna be a combo of, like, doing FBA shipping, just, like, making sure your feedback's good, that kinda thing. But you'll pretty often find that the add to cart price on the listing is not the cheapest price on the listing. What it is usually is the best combination of, like, being from, a seller with, a couple feedback, being an FBA seller, being their price, like, somewhere reasonably close to the, existing, listing and stuff, for sure. What's up, Trip? Go Hogs, yes, sir, yes, sir. Are you from Arkansas? I think I remember you saying that. You're from, was it Rogers or something like that? You said you're close to my neck of the woods. See, authorized sources for brands like Merrick and GNC are too expensive. No, I mean, like, an authorized source is Walgreens or GNC.com or anything like that, right? Like, yeah, I think you maybe have some misconceptions about, like, how reselling works. So yeah, I would just dive in on, a lot more just, like, free YouTube content. So just look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube. Or there's a 3-hour free course that comes with, like, 5 documents and stuff up in my bio on TikTok. That's down below if you guys are on, YouTube or Facebook, in the Amazon Launchpad free course. Yeah, it just sounds like you have some misconceptions about selling on Amazon, which is totally normal. See, Tawny Town, that's what it was. That's cool. You're a regular of, Grape Fest or whatever. You gotta get your yearly, grape ice cream. So you gotta get a product started selling, and now it says you need to get approved again. So that might happen if it was like an auto ungate. That can happen occasionally, but the nice part is you have an invoice now, right? Like, as long as you bought it from somewhere legitimate, which I hope you're doing that to begin with, you can submit that as your invoice. You thought retail invoices don't work anymore? Yeah, that's been, like, a pretty common misconception. Like, people were saying that when I started selling on Amazon in, like, 2018, and I believed them, and for some reason, I just took it at face value, and I didn't sell anything name brand for, like, a year and a half. But then talked to other people who actually do it, they're like, "No, I use retail invoices all the time, and we're still doing it." Yeah, you just need to buy things that are legitimate, right? So as long as you're buying from Walgreens or, shopwss.com or Champ Sports or things like that, right? Um, Websites that are allowed to sell you legit items. Can you save all your invoices for COGS? Yeah, I mean, you'll have them all in your email, like, by default, especially if you're doing online arbitrage, like, since it'll just be, like order confirmations and stuff. The best way to, like, track your, like, profit and stuff in terms of COGS is just to list everything on Boxem, and then that way, like, as those sales roll in, it'll discount, like, your profit and calculate how much you spent on the inventory, that kinda thing. Yeah, it's like the Amazon accounting software I use. Can you, see, can you oversimplify the steps from product to sale? Sure. So, let's see. So step point 5, figure out what you can sell by using the Boxem Auto Ungator. So you'll get 50 to 100 brands. Step 1, pull up a brand that you're ungated in. It can be any product in that brand. Look at the sellers who are already selling that brand that you're ungated in on SellerAmp, load up their storefront, and then filter their store to just those brands that you're automatically approved to sell. Right? So then that simplifies the ungating process because now you're just specifically looking for things you're already approved to sell. That's like the way oversimplified version. If you want to see the slightly more detailed version, I would just look up auto ungated sourcing on YouTube, and you'll kind of see what I mean. There'll be a bunch of videos from me or my friend Miles who does a lot of that as well. Let's see if you get ungated in human digestibles at an automatic ungated food and grocery. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so, but you could check, like, you can see what category it's under when you try to, apply, basically. What's a good way to source Easter products? A lot of Easter stuff will be, like, in-store buys or just, online in general. To be honest, the best way to source like, if you wanna get into a particular niche, whether it's, a category or a certain holiday you wanna source for, is to go to people who are already doing it, right? Somebody who's already selling on the Easter candy 2 packs, their stores that's not their only Easter item, you know what I mean? You can go to their store, and since they sourced a couple good Easter items, you see all the other things they decided to source, and it might be some other Easter items, it might be some other just good product ideas in general, and you can run from there. Let's see. Local wholesaler and distributor invoices don't work that I mean, they definitely do, yeah. So you can buy directly from the brand, you can buy directly from an authorized retailer, or you can buy directly from an authorized wholesaler or distributor. Those are, the places you can source from. Like I said, I think you just have some misconceptions about what's on Amazon's really like. So I would just go through the free course that, I was talking about. Let's see, Qt, so you don't need either of those softwares. Those are, like, really expensive, like, overly complicated for reselling. You just need SellerAmp, Keepa, and Boxem, and those combine for about $100 a month. Um, and that's, like, kinda the starting toolkit, basically. Um, yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. Appreciate everybody, tapping in today. Like I said, the Walmart clearances near me, if you guys want, like, a really easy starting point, local retail arbitrage just being, like, going out to your local stores, is, like, a super easy place to start because the only competition you have is the other people who happen to check the clearance aisle at your Walmart in the last couple days, right? So, like, I literally just did that to check for some stuff to sell on Walmart. Just testing out the new, WAMP mobile app, which is pretty fun. We've been able to source things specifically to sell on Walmart with that, and filled up a whole cart full of profit, which was pretty cool. So maybe your Walmarts are also good. Like, if you guys want, like, easy, just, like, practice right now, you can start scanning things with the SellerAmp app, and eventually you'll use the WAMP app to start selling things on. Um, let's see. Target invoice worked yesterday for a product. Cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason, like, there's no re I have no incentive to lie to you about, like, things that will work for ungating and stuff, really. Wanna make sure everybody's, on a good footing. For sure. Appreciate you, Buckeye. Been, been doing this for, like, 5 or 6 years at this point, in terms of, like, talking about, selling Amazon and stuff. What's going on with Amazon? You're restricted for everything now? No, like, so, go to Boxem and then go to bulk ungating and then click the suggested ASINs and you'll get approved for 50 to 100 brands. And that should right away just kinda unlock that part of your brain that feels like there's just no way to really make money on Amazon anymore. Um, sure, if you check, like, Nike or Legos or, like, massive, massive brands that don't allow resellers, then sure, you can't sell those things right now. But obviously there's still lots of people that are, finding success, kinda getting after it. See, you were able to get, yeah, for sure. Can you buy Walmart clearance items in store and sell it back on Walmart online? Yes. So ironically, I've noticed that one of the best places to source Walmart inventory, like, to sell on Walmart is at Walmart. So that's kind of an interesting one. We'll see how long that lasts, or maybe they're just down to let resellers clean out their clearance for them. But you can also source things on Walmart online and other discount stores and that kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, so Boxem, Levan, yeah. So for any of you guys that wanted to use to go get ungated and a bunch of stuff, you can use Boxem, Boxem. And you'll also need that later down the line when you start making shipments and tracking profit and stuff. Can you use a regular store receipt for ungating? No, because it doesn't have your information on it. Let's see, you got ungated your first item last week. It was on the 21st submission. Damn. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you kept it going there. That's obviously a little more than I typically see, or you like to see as average at least. But yeah, that's why we say just keep submitting. Like, there's a lot of people, unfortunately, at Amazon, they're just kinda coasting in their jobs, I would assume, not really doing any real work, which kinda makes ungating a little bit harder sometimes. And that's also why a lot of people think that, like, retail invoices and stuff don't work because they submitted something that Amazon should be accepting, and they just didn't because, like, the employee was lazy. Unfortunately, pretty common right now. You just gotta be persistent. With all things business, you just gotta be persistent. Let's see. Home Depot Pro invoice doesn't show address, will it still work? I mean, did you ship it to you? Because it has to have your address on it. You might be able to, like, Frankenstein an invoice together too, just don't edit an invoice in a way that makes it like you're trying to, like, doctor the invoice. Kind of a big no-no with Amazon. Let's see, you could always try it too, but having your info on it is gonna be um, pretty important. How much do you need to start? At least $1,000. I started with, like, 1,500 bucks that I made working at Walgreens in high school, turning that money into, my Amazon business, just kept snowballing that money. But yeah, you need, like, at least 1,000 bucks. If you have less, then just, start selling, like, used books, like, literally go to yard sales, drive DoorDash, whatever you gotta do to get to 1,000 bucks. Um, yeah. I'm working on a YouTube video, it should be coming out tomorrow, on how to get a little creative if you have, like, 100 bucks to start. It's always gonna be better to have more money, but yeah. So you recently tried reach arbitrage for the first time. I'm not sure if it was synced to your Amazon account. So the seller won't sync to your Amazon account. It doesn't need to. So you just scan things and it's got all the data you need on SellerAmp. If it can like check gating and stuff for you on the Chrome extension if you're like logged in on another tab. Can you break down the actual workflow process for product sourcing to collecting profit? Sure. So high level view, you source a profitable item. You buy it, you ship it to either you or a prep center. That you or the prep center ships it to Amazon FBA. It gets to Amazon. About a week or 2 later, that'll start selling, it'll start checking in, and then it'll sell out when it sells out, hopefully, within, like, a couple weeks to a month. and then you'll get paid 7 days after that item has been delivered, which, by the way, is actually a change. I think it went into effect today, literally today. Yeah, so Amazon pays you 7 days after the delivery date now, which actually makes FBA sellers get paid about 4 to 5 days quicker on average now, which is kinda nice. If anything goes wrong with an ASIN, is there an option in Seller Central where you can check? Yeah, I mean, there's, like, lots of things that can change and stuff, and you obviously can fix that. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so Boxem and Cellaramp. So, yeah, you can do annual or monthly, whatever makes sense for you. What happens if you order units to a prep center for wholesale and you can't get ungated? That's why generally you wanna buy a little bit smaller when you're getting ungated. That's also why wholesale is, like, not a great move if you're, like, a brand new seller, 'cause if you have to buy a whole pallet, it locks up a lot more capital, and you might have to be, submitting ungate requests for a week or 2, right? And that would lock up some money. So typically, you'd wanna just ungate it with an online arbitrage product, and then if you wanna go deeper, like, buy it at wholesale, for sure. How do you know if you're gated before purchasing? SellerApp will show you. There's a little button that says "eligible" on the panel. It'll say "eligible," yes or no, for sure. Is FBM for auto ungated items given is FBM only for auto ungated items given in-store receipt versus invoice? No. No, so, yeah, like, if you wanna get ungated in something, it has to be an online order, but if you just need proof of authenticity, like you're already approved to sell, then it can be an in-store receipt. ChatGPT told you that Target receipts get rejected. Okay, cool, so you're gonna trust ChatGPT or the like, the person who's been actively doing this full time for a few years, right? Like, that's up to you, man. Imma let you genuinely decide that. If you wanna let ChatGPT decide that you're not gonna make money online, then go for it. For sure. What if you were in a store? Then you can check on the seller app. Yeah. See how much you make in your first month, what months you start making crazy money. Yeah, my first $1,000 month was, like, 3 months in. It took I grew very slowly, a lot slower than most people are growing now just 'cause it was a different era, like, there was no one, like, talking about selling, like, I couldn't find any friends who did it, that kinda thing. Um, my first month making, like, crazy money or whatever. What kinda sticks out to me was my first Q4 when I started reselling name brand stuff, we did, 60,000 bucks in profit. So that was the moment where I was like, "Alright, this could be pretty sick." Um, and that was just based off of, kind of doubling down on a lot of stuff that was already working before that. Let's see. Oh, that was my second Q4, just for clarity. Second Q4 was 60 grand profit. My first Q4 as a reseller was 25 to 30 grand in profit. Just wanna clarify that. Had my timeline mixed up. Let's see. Thought it's not allowed to sell other people's brand. I mean, just you need to not sell people's brands that are already selling on Amazon and that kinda thing. But as long as you're selling reseller friendly brands, then for sure you're fine. Um, that's just part of, like, staying up to date on what you're allowed to do as a reseller is just paying attention to the brands you sell and, seeing if there's still resellers on them, that kinda thing. Let's see. Last December, you hit 50K FBA doing OA. That's what's up. Nice work, Ahmed. Is it possible to do 100K this year with the same process? Yeah, so, like, um a lot of people, when you start to kind of figure it out, I guess I would say you're probably doing 50 to 100, somewhere between 50 to 100K. And you said Ahmed, you said you did 50K in December alone. So honestly, I think 100K is kind of a low goal for you. Usually, I'll see people when they start to figure it out and they do like 50-ish. The next Q4 being like the holiday season, they'll usually like anywhere from double to triple it. So like 100K would be like a safe goal for you. I bet you could do 150K though. That's my challenge to you, at least, Ahmed. I think 100K will be easy for you. But 150 will be a nice challenge. Do you only sell via FBA? So I do mostly FBA, but sometimes if there's, like, just a lot of good, like, limited time opportunities, I'll do FBA, for sure. You're going pretty crazy finding products that say eligible yes. Sure, so go to Boxem, click bulk ungating, and then click check suggested ASINs, and that'll feed you, like, 50 to 100 brands that you're allowed to sell. It'll, like, go on your behalf and try to ungate those brands. It'll show you the ones that it just applied for, that it applied for and was successful on. It automates that process. See, can you sign up to Walmart as a sole proprietor, or do you have to have an LLC? I'm pretty sure you have to have an LLC. I was looking at that the other day. How do you know if it's a resale-friendly brand? You just look at several listings in the, um yeah, you look at several listings in that brand and make sure there's 2 sellers here, 5 sellers here, 4 sellers here, so on. Make sure the brand name is not also the seller on the listing, things like that. What was the website? Yeah, so Boxem, Boxem, is like the back end management tool. That'll be the one that gets you auto ungated and a bunch of stuff. But that's also you like track profit, make shipments, kind of the whole back end of your business. What up, Terry? How's it going? Do you have consistent source of products, or is it mainly one-off hauls? No, so you don't wanna be, like, always hunting clearance and stuff. So, the way you build consistency with reselling is sourcing a specific website or, sale or something like that. Maybe there's a coupon going on, right? And you find 10 items. Okay, now next time that coupon comes back, you're gonna check those same items and be like, "Wait, I'm sold out on 8 of them, and 6 of them are still profitable if I buy today." And then you can start to, restock a bunch of things and build a little bit of consistency that way, right? So you're kind of building a catalog of things that you can restock, maybe twice, sometimes 10 times, sometimes 100 times. It just depends on, like, how long that particular item, like, stays profitable and that kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, for sure, JP, appreciate you, man. Um, what was the other website you used? Yeah, so Boxem for, ungating, shipping, profit, AI, and feedback management, and then SellerAmp for sourcing. Those are, like, the 2 tools. Yeah, if you wanna do, like, a one-on-one call, Woody, I do have a link in my bio. Usually that's more for people who are, like, already actively selling. Some other resources you might find helpful as well. Do you need any sourcing from Alibaba? Nope. Um, no, just 'cause that's unbranded stuff. I sell stuff that's already in demand, and I don't have to buy ads, I don't have to, do any of that kind of thing. If an item has a lot of sellers, you're still able to sell on a new account SEO-wise. I like how you're putting that. So you don't have to, like, you don't have to worry about, like, SEO and that kinda thing. I assume that you're probably just, like, relating that to a business you might already run. But yeah, that's the nice part about Amazon is as long as your shipping speed and price matches or is even, like, maybe a little bit better than a huge seller that's been doing it forever, you'll also make your share of the sales. It's kind of that's why so many, like, new people are able to get started. There's not a ton of, like, advantages of being on Amazon for a long time, being beyond being able to sell more brands, and you just kinda unlock that as you go. Let's see. To get ungated through target invoices, then order from your distributor? Sure, yeah, that'd be a good way to mitigate the risk of a wholesale order. If you gotta go to a wholesaler and buy 5,000 bucks or something and you're not ungated in it yet, um, then it'd be, like, a safer way to ungate it if you do a retail invoice first. Um, sure, drop your question, man. Yeah. So you're able to write off taxes completely? I mean, I don't know about the word completely. Hopefully not completely, that would imply you're not making any money. But yeah, you can write anything that's an expense off, you can write on that off on your taxes. So that's, software, that's, if you invest in education of any kind, if you buy boxes, if you're buying products and they sell, right? Like anything that you're buying related to the business, sure, yeah, it's a tax write-off. You wanna talk to like, if you, like, really get into it, you wanna get, like, a good local CPA, or there's, like, e-commerce specific CPAs. I've done some good interviews on YouTube with, people who are actually CPAs and, like, qualified to talk about taxes since I just trust my accountant with that kinda stuff. If you're, like, curious on that side of the business works. We actually go into handling taxes pretty far in detail in the free YouTube course I was talking about. Yeah, if you guys have hopped in recently, just look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube, and you'll see, it's like a 5-hour long video I made that kinda details everything. How long does it take for an ungate request to be approved by Amazon? Sometimes it'll be a couple hours, sometimes it can be, like, a few days, like, it really depends. I haven't really found any rhyme or reason to it yet. Maybe specific brands and specific categories can be faster and slower from what I've seen, but, sometimes it also just seems kinda random, to be honest. Let's see, from your experience, do you sell grocery, healthcare, or clothing first? I mean, yeah, I don't see the real reason to be specific to one type of product as an arbitrage seller. There's no advantage to it. Like, if you're doing wholesale, like, sure, there's a big advantage to being niched down and specializing in something. But if you're just buying opportunities as they come, you should just buy all of the opportunities as they come, right? Um, so you're more so gonna be buying based on what's cheap today rather than what products do I wanna sell today, if that makes sense, right? You'll look, check, 10, 15 different websites and see, "Oh, a lot of vitamin websites are at full price today, but hey, there's a bunch of clothing websites that have 25% coupons. Looks like I'm sourcing clothes today." Right? So you just go wherever the sales are. If your invoices get rejected, how long should you try before you give up? Never. Like, yeah, I mean, Why would you throw in the towel on something? Gotta just be persistent with that kind of thing, and never, like, give up on it. Let's see, have you ever had any issues being ungated or not be able to sell the items you sourced? I mean, as long as you apply to get approved, like, you'll be fine. What can happen sometimes is, like, if a brand wants to come back to Amazon, and this happened a couple years ago with, like, one of my favorite brands to sell at the time. We got an email that said, like, "Hey, the brand that you're selling, they wanna start selling their own stuff on Amazon. You have to sell out in 2 months." So they gave us 2 months to sell out, and that can happen. I can think of two brands that I've sold, like, a decent amount of where that happened. So that maybe might be what you're talking about, where you can run into, like, some roadblocks and stuff, but, yeah. Is a label maker a must? I heard USPS gives away free labels on their site. So that's UPS. They'll give away, like, free shipping labels. You don't need, like, a label printer, but it is faster. So, like, I use, like well, I would pick it up, but it's, like, plugged into a bunch of stuff down here, and I use, like, a Rollo label printer for that kinda thing, for sure. What's that problem? Yeah, I shoot for 10% after I pay my team because 'cause they're the ones actually sourcing all my products, shipping all my products, managing the whole store, that kinda thing. I just kind of educate them how I built the business to like, I built the business on my own to, like, 50, 100 a month, that kind of thing, and started bringing in people slowly, teaching them how to do the things that I was already good at, and then was able to scale beyond, like, just my time that way. Um, so, yeah, obviously, that cuts into your margins to train some people and that kinda thing. But I'm happy to do it. Wanna run a real business, not just be, like, hustling, that kinda thing. Sweet. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Probably gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Like we're talking about, make sure you guys go check out Boxem if you're struggling with, like, ungating or if you just wanna make shipments faster, you need to track your profit, you wanna talk to AI and help you source, that kinda thing. Boxea free for your first 2 weeks. And, yeah, appreciate all you guys, tuning on in today.